a very good morning to you. Very, very good morning. A beautiful Easter Monday. In those days when we were young, I'm going to sing this song. Say, one Monday, Easter morning, Mary went to the sepulchre. She looked to the empty tomb and saw nothing but a lily dress. Hallelujah, Messiah rose. Then we'll sing, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Messiah rose. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Messiah rose. I know some of you begin to laugh that the Chris cannot sing. At least I try. That is it. It is Easter Monday, ladies and people. I don't want to sing ladies and gentlemen because then it's become like a political party. But it is a great day that we are celebrating. And I said today, we're not going to look at anything negative. Let's look at what is Easter. What's the meaning of Easter? I wanted the man of God to join us to talk to us about Easter, what it stands for. But I have, as long as I have Chief Mbaka on the platform, I don't need a man of God. He is a man of God. So that's why I have Mbaka with me this morning. Good morning, Chief Mbaka. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Chris.
I said,
How's London?
I was saying that, London is good. I was just trying to say, hey, it is Easter, and I want to talk about Easter. What does Easter mean? Why are we even doing Easter today? And I said, we need a man of God. And I said, no, I have you. You are a man of God. I think you should be able to tell us everything about Easter. I know you'll be able to tell us at some point today. Yeah, but how was the celebration? Based on the experience in Nigeria, what did you see?
Oh, well, for Christendom, beyond Nigeria, Easter means so much. Perceived to be the greatest, the most significant celebration. What makes Christianity a living faith? Because the Messiah rose, just like you have sang wonderfully. The Messiah rose. So,
yes.
Like somebody would say, thank God the end on the cross. It would have meant a story of agony.
Yes.
Thank God it ended. It could have been a message of the message. I mean, the story ended. The rose, like you just sang, that he rose. Yeah. So.
Okay. Now the network will do us good this morning, but don't forget, people. That is Mbaka is going to talk us through what make Easter Easter. I am going to have him. I'm going to cut to him immediately. The audio is good because we really want to know. And those of you out there, what does Easter mean to you? Like he rightly said, the reason we what makes Christian faith unique. That's what I'm going to do today. Is what makes Nigeria unique. But let's look what makes the Christian faith unique. If we can look inwards and begin to see the beauty of the Christian faith, maybe we can overlook some of the things that we see that we don't like about the Christendom. Like you already said, those are the things I'll be looking at through this today. We have loopholes, we have issues. I saw the Pope come out, in the midst of all these health issues, the man came out and it was a bigger gong. It's beautiful. And sometimes I just can imagine where God is looking on down to us and he'll be happy that with his children, his makings are celebrating him. And I think it's a beautiful thing to do. And not that I agree with some of the things they're going to say, I'm probably going to throw that big question to Chief Mbaka this morning. But, sometimes, Chief Mbaka, welcome back. Welcome back, Chief. Your network is have a way of throwing us up and down. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so very much. Yeah, so yes. That whereas globally, and especially in Christendom, Easter is about hope. About hope, even in a situation where every other forces had concluded that it had become hopeless. But that, yes, you no longer look for it. And that is the message of hope. But linking it up with the reality of the Nigerian state. If we have the chance and we look at the paper, we see that the likes of Kuka, the likes of Bakari, the likes of Danjuma, yes. And the rest of us are saying Nigeria is still on the cross. Nigeria is still bleeding. How can the leadership get it right and take Nigeria out of the cross so that once again we can truly join the world to sing hallelujah, he has risen. Let it not
Yes.
appear as if Nigeria rose, I'm sorry, as if Christ actually rose for other parts of the world.
And not for Nigeria.
And today it's as if the forces of darkness, the forces of darkness are still sitting on the destiny of Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country we have, and it affords us the hope. Nature has given us all that we require. And every other thing put together, like I have seen the array of the prospects and the talents, nature's blessing that you have programmed even for this edition of the program. But if we do not get that other factor right of the right leadership, then it will seem that Nigeria is still bleeding on the cross. It has not even been taken down from the cross, and not to talk of being buried, and so there is no hope of resurrection. So
Yes.
that appears to be the dilemma. The dilemma. We hear that the vice president possibly will be standing in for the president, who is outside the country and who didn't transmit power to him. That doesn't appear to show that there is a clearly cut nexus, understanding, a team spirit in the presidency, but that he will be visiting Plateau today. And in Plateau, they are just killing people, Plateau and Benue, you understand. And the rest other things about the politics of Nigeria. I remember Bakari saying in his State of the Nation address that we should shift from motor park kind of politics and see how we could have the refined leadership of ideas. The present quagmire of where we are. So the world is celebrating Easter, and Easter is about hope. Easter is about resurrection. Even when there were forces that said, oh, it's all over. The Roman soldiers were kept there to make it doubly sure that he never rose. But thank God that the King of Kings rose. Thank God that the Messiah rose. And because he rose, that is the assurance of our faith that no matter the challenges,
we're going to rise again.
No matter the situation we find ourselves, we can rise within. To rise from his present challenges, the challenge of leadership, the challenge of his security, the challenge of not, we by nature, we have the right people to run, to administer the nation. But we have a way of not throwing up the right people because of our entrenched system of leadership emergence, and that we keep replaying our third, fourth, 11. And so we have this situation where, yes, Yaradua was young, but he was ailing, and we had challenges. From there, we appear not to have learned because we handed over to another person that was a senior citizen and near a state of vegetating. That talking about Buhari. And from Buhari, we are now with another. Nigerian challenges are enough for the kind of leadership of somebody who sound job you give who is already ailing. We made reference to it at some point that even to be a clerk in the public service in Nigeria, you need to get attestation from the hospital, a government registered hospital, of how you are sound. How come that when we are trying to see who will give the biggest, the most significant job in the land, we bypass that? And so we get in people who keep padding their health situation. And at the end of the day, administration suffers. At the end of the day, Nigeria remains perpetually on the cross, bleeding, with no hope of when it will be brought down from the cross, because we lack it administratively. So that appears to be where Nigeria is now. Yes, Easter is here with us, but what meaning does it have to people who are in the IDP? What meaning does it have to people who cannot get to the market there and pick a cups of rice and coming home and celebrate? So where is the renewed hope agenda? and where is it taking us to? And that is why you see a section of the country now, the CPC bloc, they are meeting and meeting and meeting. But at the end of the day, their meeting may not amount to much, because the current dispensation is being seen as is the turn of the South, because Nigeria is being seen north and south. So let us see how this. No, it has to be 8 years, and so you see that there is a very delicate situation and a kind of political equation that never ever gets balanced. And in all this, competence appeared not to be there. In all this, sacrifice appears not to be there. Selflessness appears not to be there. And of course, the love for the nation is becoming questionable. And these are what Easter actually stands for: the sacrifice on the cross by our Lord Jesus Christ, the renewed hope that it brought to mankind. How now come that in our political situation, our renewed hope is coming with all the tragedy of a very, very, I don't want to say incompetent government, but a government that doesn't feel responsible enough to take the right situation and rise in situations where lives need to be changed, in situations where property needs to be changed, to be secured. And it is only when it is about the pettiness of politics and control of power that we can muzzle down a state and see how. So it's about power, power, power. But the example of our Lord Jesus Christ was that power was for service. Power was to, improve the lot of mankind. Power was to save. But power in our circumstances appear for self, for aggrandizement, and for empowering a couple of people around us. So that is the dysfunctionality of power in our circumstance. And that is what we need to look at again and again to see whether the message of Easter can ever have some level of meaning in our circumstances. Otherwise, we will just be mouthing our Christianity, but we are not living it out.
Oh, what a big! See, I told the guy before that I'm not looking for a man of God to do this. I need somebody who is politically sound and is deep in religion to talk us through what Easter means to us today. And I really want to thank Bola Tinubu for saying the renewed hope, which our man of God here, Evangelic Ubaka, has rightly put in place. He talks about the hope of mankind came from the death of Jesus Christ. And because he rose, you die and you wake up. It's okay to fall, but the message is before try and get up. Jesus Christ, in fact, in the biggest of all darkness, he came out. So you should get up, come out. That's what we're trying to say today, and I think it means a lot. That means a lot to anybody watching. I'm sure Asaba is going to try and double what they do best. They're going to be in the right shape. I'm going to have more guests in Asaba, which will make it good so that the message of Easter can be well relayed. Tinubu talks about renewed hope. Easter is about hope. So maybe this is the right time. Though the message is kind of dark, and I wonder if we are really that bad, because I felt that today it's about talking about the greatness. I want to look at the uniqueness of the Nigerian state. That was the message. I said, let's just look inward. And I really want us to look inward. Are we really that bad? Are we that poor? Are we that dark? No. Maybe the renewed hope, like Ubaka Riley said. Let me bring Ubaka back, because I really need to have them. Welcome. Oh, okay. We are complete now. Engineer Mashak is right here with us. Engineer, morning. And a very big Easter to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
So much to celebrate, but nothing to celebrate.
I think there's a lot to celebrate. Let's stay with these two able gentlemen. There's a lot to celebrate. Let's look at it simple. In Nigeria, don't you think Jesus Christ had to go through some journey? It wasn't just die and wake up and just resurrection. He died first. He was actually beaten. He was tried, beaten. He got whipped. He got up. He was tied on the stake. Something went through his nose. Blood gushed out. He died. Then the hope came. Then he rose. That's when the hope came. Maybe we are still in the process of dying and we are not dead yet. And maybe we need to die. And then before the hope will come out, we need to resurrect. Nigeria need to resurrect. Have we resurrected? Maybe we've not resurrected. Maybe is that the stage you think we are, Ejina Mashak? Are we still in the maybe are we still being whipped, or we are already dead, or we are waiting to resurrect? Where are we?
Very unfortunate to say state the obvious. First and foremost, I want to thank all Christians all over the world
Yes.
for celebrating the birth and death of Christ. You can see my dressing. I'm mourning the death of Christ and His resurrection today. And to God be the glory. Your question is very, very apt in the sense that what is the essence of this Easter? You must have spiritual relevance for you to understand the essence of this Easter. I want to bring it to our climb. We keep preaching religion, that's Christianity, Islam, celebrating Eid Malud, Eid Fitri, Easter, and Christmas. What impact has it brought to our lives and our ability to interpret what those celebrations stand for? Easter is a very sober period. It's a period of reflection. Do our politicians reflect on the season of Easter? Do our clergy reflect on the season of Easter? What is the essence? How has Nigeria been able to gain from the spiritual impact of celebrating these milestones in our different religions? Easter is to me, Easter is much more important than Christmas because it comes with the
As you know, our network is always up and down, but it's good to get these deep messages. They are deep, and it's good to get into our soul to understand that to be able to bring in religion into our daily life. It's easy to say Jesus Christ died, he woke up, he has risen, you begin to dance. But how does it affect your daily life? That is where the politics come in, and that's what our men in Asaba are trying to put us through today. And I think it's a very big message. I don't know whether the network is good. We can hear you now. We hardly hear you, but if you can hear me, just keep talking, and I will stop, and we'll let you continue. What I can say is there is hope in Nigeria. There's big hope, and I said that I'm not afraid to say this, that there is hope. Look at Nigeria. We are good people and we're a great nation, and I agree. And I'm going to run through this as my people before their network will get better. Then we'll get back to them. And I want to show you this. This is a country that has this set of people. Look at them. There is, in fact, if you want to talk of wealth, this is where you get them. Wealthy people, man. You can't get this wrong. Let's remove this one. These are all wealthy Nigerians. They are not people from other part of the world. They are Nigerians, reputable, who have earned their money. They are not actually politicians. These guys are no politicians. They are people that work hard and they earn money, and they've got their place in the international stage. When human beings are talking, these eminent Nigerians can go there and say, yes, my name is so. I created social business from scratch, and this is where I am today, and this is what I am doing. And I'm so happy. And let me mention the first one on the right there. His foundation alone is beginning to impart. Not people in Nigeria, but the whole of Africa. I mean, the guy from UBA. I can name them. Of course, we don't need to talk about Dangote, who could take on the challenge that states in Nigeria couldn't, to say, okay, now that we need refineries, the government is not giving us refineries, I'm going to create one. I'm more than impressed that these are Nigerians. These are not people else. And a woman is in the midst. I'm so proud of you, lady. We're proud of you. Who be out myself? I so many think. We'll take her. Number two, I just take a look. This is the president of the country. I know that sometimes we say so many. You have a question. Go on with your question, Dadu. Go on with your question. Dadu have a question for us. Please, and Dadu, you can call at a point in time, but you can ask your question and I will throw the question to my guest. All right? To people in Asaba. I will do our best to answer it. Listen, Nigeria is a great nation. We have a president, Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, I want to ask a question today on this show. This man Do we really think he's evil? He knows what to do and he's not doing it. Or maybe he's handicapped too. He's having problem. Because no father will not give food to his children. And when a man does not have money, he begins to behave as if he doesn't care. But a father like him, I'm sure if he has what to give to us, he would have given to us. But Baba, people are questioning you now if you really mean well for us. Jesus Christ has risen. You just celebrated Salah. You know the meaning that it's a time of you come up with the message of new hope. Where is our hope? We're all talking from London. Dadu is asking question. Dadu number 3, and that's all I can call it because that's your name. We are talking from different parts of the world. I am in London at the moment, and that's the other team. They're talking from Asaba in Nigeria. So we are grounded internationally and locally. If that is your question, I think it's easy to answer. Well, that is the president there. Let me quickly go to the next people. This is the same country, the same Nigeria that produced this able young man. Today, Burna Boy, you see him in New York. You know, when I was growing up, the only person that can close a stadium in Europe was Michael Jackson, the Commodores. Those are American stars. Hello? In fact, I remember one time in Europe, I had this one that was fighting with the husband. Big artist. Today, Nigerian boys who rose from nowhere, no hope. They are actually Burna Boy is bigger now. In fact, American musicians are looking to pair with him. And let me tell you one story. And it's okay. I don't know what you say. You want to know? We're talking about the hope, Nigerian hope. All right. Our hope. Our topic today is the renewed hope. The meaning of Easter to us. Have Nigeria resurrected? Are we still behind, or we are where we are? That's the question. And I'm trying to show that Nigeria have all it takes. We are not really as low as people think. Anybody watching Nigeria today and say Nigeria is finished, I'm saying it's not, because it's the same Nigeria produces people. We're no more low people. In those days, no Nigerian musician. They won't play Nigerian music. In the UK, no radio station in the United Kingdom will play Nigerian music. But the story is different now. Maybe we need to look back and say, maybe we are not really that bad. Maybe we have risen with Jesus. Maybe we are not, maybe not Jesus' resurrection. Maybe the resurrection we're expecting in Nigeria is not what it is, but we've risen. If we have not risen, I will see Burna Boy performing. I will see our children performing at the O2 Arena. This is a story in those days. Quote me. How many Nigerian musicians was able to have a show in Berlin? It never happened. It never happened in the history of Nigeria. But these kids are doing more than that. In fact, I don't know whether we can give them more royal welcome than this. All right. That is saying he likes Nigerian music too. That's a start. All right. This is Nigeria we're talking about. Now look at these actors. They, when we were growing up, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, over today, R&B. Where is this Ramsey Noah? These are the guys. Sorry, ladies, I didn't find time to get the pictures of our ladies. I would have shown. That to tell you, these are Nigerian actors. They are not foreigners, they are Nigerians. Yeah. So Nigeria is really I want to say, is this not a brand? Let me go a little bit further. Have you seen Osime on the world stage? Then the boy that grew up in the street in Nigeria is on the world stage. Osime. In fact, I remember when we were playing this Nations Cup. There were people that came from Italy to follow Osime to go only Osime was the reason they came to go and watch the game. It's Nigeria we're talking about. It's not another country. It's the same country, Nigeria. Let me just not remind you. All these beautiful women. Look at them. So sometimes when you go to the Facebook today, everything I see sometimes is Nigerian women opening their asses, disgracing themselves. No, but that's not all the story of Nigerian women. Look at Nigerian women. This lady here was doing the 100 meters hurdles. You know, that's a race that I always tell everybody to watch out for. Because life is about a 100-meter hurdle race. Yeah. I described life in one of my books I was writing, that life is a 100-meter hurdle race. You run, you jump. You run, you jump. You run, you jump. That's it. Anybody that don't, if you watch that race, man, look at the finishing. Don't worry. You get to the hurdle, jump it. Get to the next one, jump it. Go to the finishing. The finishing, there will be joy. Nigeria. So we are not really as poor or as low as the story is. And it's a little bit disturbing for somebody like me because I am only wondering. I come here and I really get worried, and I can understand the frustration of everyone talking about this beautiful country and how sad or how where we shouldn't be where we are. But we are not still where we were not where we are not where we were. We're in a different place now. And you see, let me tell you guys this on the show today. Do you know as low as 2004, 2003, I lost my mom in 2004. The phone I bought, I said to go and give to the woman. Before I got there, the woman was late. So I don't have the opportunity to talk to my mother with a video. In Europe, when we came to Europe first time, we were writing letters. Before the letter would get home, thank God the post office was effective then. We would write the letter, we get home. The fastest one was the EMS, and it was the cheapest. Otherwise, it was DHL and the UPS. That's the only way we could communicate. It's different today. You just press this now. You are talking to. Look at we are talking. This was impossible. Few years ago. I'm talking just few years ago. So, and Nigerians have never been left behind. Look at what we have done. Our presence on the social media. Yes, some of them are annoying. In fact, if you get there sometime, when I open my Facebook, or sometime I see it's only women, Nigerian women. They just want to open their body down because it attracts some views. And I say, what is this now? But when you look at the other side, but there are still great Nigerian women of this. So are we really bringing out only the negative part alone, or are we withdrawing the positive? That's my question I want my people to help me to answer today. Are we not really, that's why I said today's topic perhaps is about looking a little bit inwards. Have we really been that bad? Don't forget to, I'm going to use the one of the message I have here. And I think it's very important. I said, it is the most populous country on the continent with over 200 million inhabitants. It's good to say over because I think we're up to 400 million. Nigeria also boasts of a very rich cultural heritage. I've displayed that. A thriving movie industry. Add the music and movie industry. And a significant oil producer. And the oil could have been two ways. We could have been producing red oil, palm oil, and the oil the one that the rest of the world is using for their cars, their diesel, and the other for power things. And that's so. And that's one thing. And before I do that, I say let's put this on some of the things that stand Nigeria out. You see, it's the powerhouse of Africa. Remember that Nigeria is the most populous black nation on earth. When you see a black people, the first thing that should come to your mind should be Nigeria, because we are the home of black people. Though we cannot afford to say we are where we're supposed to be, but are we really behind? Before I let you people come back in, don't forget that American artists are now looking to pair with Burna Boy. Nigerian movies industry has risen to a stage that I watched in America. I watched some of their movies. And I say I'm watching Nigerian movies. They're not making mistake. You say I'm watching Nigerian movies. Go to the Caribbean. I've been to film festivals around the Caribbean. I'm watching Nigerian movies. That's where we are. No, I don't need to tell you what the music boys have done. Football, from the time of King Kano till now. 2 days ago, it was yesterday, on my Facebook, I was watching Mikel Obi. I was impressed. He's so articulate. I don't know whether his level of education. I'm more than impressed. I don't know. Mikel is somebody that we should be watching out for. I used to underrate the guy. But intellectually, he's sound. So it's not just, so look at the talent. Look at the amount of talent. The question I ask is, like Chief Ubaka, I want to call him Evangelist Ubaka said today, is it only the leadership that is our problem? Or only those people in power? Because with all this talent, how could someone like only one person fail all of us? I don't understand. Or maybe we don't really fail. Maybe our expectation are a little bit too high. I'll leave that to you guys. Let's have
Okay.
let's have evangelist. Yes. Go on, evangelist. Yes.
Thank you so very much for that very broad analysis. This season is about hope, and the hope is for all humanity. Incidentally, in Nigerian circumstances, the question we are trying to see how we can answer is how credible is the renewed hope agenda in our circumstance? Yes, the talents and the human resources, the human capital, and the natural resources, they are all attestation of what God gave to us.
Thank you.
And that was primarily why Nigeria was called the giant of Africa. And of course, the symbol and hope of the black race all over the world.
Yes.
Nigeria has played critical role. I remember that in my undergraduate days, I had South Africans who were with me in the school, and I interacted with them. I found out that they were on a bilateral scholarship we had with Nigeria had with ANC. Yes, the likes of Nelson Mandela spent some time with Nnamdi Azikiwe, even in Ikoyi, Lagos. Nigeria played Sonny Okosu with his music.
Yes, Fela too.
Nigeria played critical role in the liberation movement of other nations of Africa. But the question has been, how far have we actualized that hope? Because with the potentials Nigeria God gave to Nigeria, every black man all over the world is looking up onto Nigeria for leadership. But that got truncated with military incursion into politics. And our attempt at getting back to democracy has been fraught with challenges here and there. We remember the likes of IBB banning a particular brigade, and coming up with a new breed form of politicians and all that. And it does appear now that our politics have lost ideology, and so we do not appear to have direction. In the process, you will see that yes, you have highlighted the people who are wealthy, not just in Nigerian standard, African standard, but global standard.
Yes.
But again, we have situations where the economic challenge is such that is beginning to impede our democracy, because we see people who come out in form of leadership, and over again, they throw the carrots, as it were, at people. And we have not been able to have it right in terms of the right leadership emergence. That is one of the areas that has started our growth and our impact. If Nigeria had it right with then of course our potentials would have been a lot more maximized. And yes, thank God we are no longer where we used to be. Yes, thank God today you are talking from London, the same studio as it were, and we are here in Delta, and we have our colleagues in Abuja and Lagos, and we are talking to a world audience. Thank God we are no longer where we used to be. But we are not also, we must be sincere with ourselves that we are not yet where we ought to be. Why is it that our university graduates tend to have hopeless future because they cannot be engaged. What has happened between the time when you are coming out from passing out parade in NYSC and you see coastal buses of established manufacturing industries that have come. They may never have seen you before. They have come because you made one of the best results in your department, in your university. And they have come to pick you from NYSC camp. And so a job is readily awaiting you. How come that we now have young men who 4 years after their graduation, they do not have hope of where to get engaged? How come that our National Youth Service Scheme has come to be pre-indexed as now you are suffering begins? How come that our multinationals are relocating? How come that Warri, where my brother engineer grew up, has lost its glory? And today there is an attempt through infrastructural restoration to see, but I'm not quarreling with the restoration of infrastructure. But if infrastructure is there and the security architecture is still such that expatriates feel they are not safe, then the economy might never get back to where it used to be. So how come that we have national refineries and a number of them today are not working? Yes, thank God for the private initiatives. Thank God for the talents that have been shown. A number of those talents you showed in sports, interact with them. They trained abroad and they started shining as stars abroad. Here in Nigeria, we still have talents, but we do not have that compact between the industries and even the sports and entertainment sector. And you find out that because of the environment, our stars hardly shine here. And that is what has led to what we are talking about, the the syndrome of people getting outside either the japa or the brain drain. So we must accept the truth that there is still a challenge with our environment. Our environment is still such that it appears as if the forces of evil that the president talked about from his Europe-based concerning Easter, the forces of evil seem to still be triumphing. That our stars only shine when they get to better organized environment. How can that our environment be put in order? And that is where the renewed hope gave Nigerians hope that perhaps this time we are to get it right. But 2 years into the 4-year tenure, we are seeing that we are back to business as usual. We are seeing that politicians are still in one way or the other supporting. It's only Nigeria that I know. I start to be educated. It's only Nigeria that I know that people, in an attempt to boot other people out of political offices, we spill blood. Thank God for our brother Jonathan, who said that his political aspiration was not worth the blood of any Nigerian. But we still have the brand of politicians in this Nigeria that would rather make an ethnic group that had been living together before to start fighting, and in the process, they start killing people in their hundreds just for them to get into political relevance.
Buhari was saying that it's going to make Nigeria ungovernable.
The blood that Jesus spilled on the cross for the entire humanity, for mankind. Must we continue in Nigeria again, spilling the blood again? If we continue, then perhaps we are still hanging Christ on the cross. We are still crucifying him the second time. Because he died under the circumstances that he died, in order that we can live more amicably.
Exactly. I agree. What a tragedy. Are you still killing Jesus in Nigeria, or you allow Jesus to rise? Because that is the question we're asking this morning. Do we want to wake up? Do we let Jesus Christ to wake up from the
It does
dead?
not
Or we want to keep him there? It's a big, difficult
go
one.
through that kind of pain again.
Yes.
But go out there. What are we seeing? There is still pain of people who cannot eat. There is still pain of young girls.
It is sad. It is sad, and I'm very sure people watching us. Yes. We are with you. We are with you. I know the network is always what it is. Nigerians were getting used to the Nigerian network. We do what we do best. We are late. Evangelist Baka is putting us through. We're lamenting. I didn't want us to lament today. I thought we were going to celebrate today, but unfortunately, the Nigerian challenges won't let us.
Just where young girls and supposedly very critical arm of government, the National Assembly, that had become an extended vestige of the executive, and such they can't hold the presidency to accountability. We have a president that is traveling out and is not responsible enough to talk with his vice and say, I am going, you do it like this, you do it like this, and the next thing is that he moves to Europe and the vice travels to Sweden, if not for the public outcry that led to the vice returning. Otherwise, he was protesting the fact that power was not transmitted to him. So he too traveled to Sweden. Now he is back and he wants to visit Benue and Plateau today. But the harm is already done. So Nigeria has made a milestone in leadership. Nigeria has shown leadership in the world stage, and our talents are not in short supply.
No.
But we are not where we ought to be. And the reason is that the leadership trajectory has not been fixed. If it is fixed, Nigeria is meant to be a power block that should be inspiration, not just to nations of the world where you have black, but even to other so-called developed nations. Thank you.
Yes. Interestingly,
yes. Go on.
I want to take away what we are discussing today. The relevance of Easter is a personal relevance. It's scriptural, and of course, it's a decision that has to be personally taken. Nigerians and Nigerian politicians are subject to the manipulations of their selfish interests. Now, let's understand one thing. Korea Republic, Democratic Republic of Korea, they don't have a single Christian there, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like 0.019%. In most of Europe, the percentage of Christians is very, very minimal. We have more atheists in most developed countries than we have Christians. And they seem to be better developed than us. In UAE, for example, okay, in Europe, the number of churches in Nigeria alone is far, almost 2 to 3 times more than the number of churches in the whole of Europe. The number of churches in Nigeria alone is far more than the number of churches in the whole of Europe. We are facing a critical problem of nationhood that requires attention from all strata of the society. But there are divergent opinions. Instead of the church, for example, to be building industries on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, they are building campgrounds. And you are expecting people that come to the campground to show total allegiance in terms of commitment on tithing, in free will giving, in seed sowing, in pastor celebration, and all that. From where do they get this money from when there's no work? Create a job for them. If you have built factories for them, name it Covenant Factory, you may need Redeemer's Factory, you may need Embassy Factory. What, they just give it a name, tag it. Let it be a leather factory, let it be a machinery factory, and these people are earning. It will make more sense when you tell them about reformation. But we don't have all that. Go to the north. The biggest problem of the northern political elite is the continuous impoverishing of their own citizens, because they make sure their citizens suffer lack of education. Because when they are educated, they are difficult to be manipulated. But when they are made ignorant and majority are illiterate, it is easier to manipulate their thought line along religious allegiance. And you see the zombies, they move and react based on that. And now we're looking at the trajectory of democratic leadership decay over the years. God, in His infinite mercies, has given us everything to make us the greatest nation on earth, the greatest black nation on earth. But look at, we chose our own name, the most populous black nation on earth, when God gave us a better name, the greatest black nation on earth. He gave us the best human resources. Nigerians, how many Nigerians have you seen on social media innovating with innovative inventions? Aircraft, this, it dies on the highest they get to is Newsline on NTA network on Sundays. After that, the dream dies naturally. Nobody to fund them, nobody to assist them, nobody to, even the state government, wealthy individuals that you showed those now, don't project them. And that is the Nigeria we are in today. Nigerians have the
Okay. Let's get what it
best brain surgeons in America, UK, Canada, Australia, and Nigerians. Why did they stay here? To improve, because the system doesn't allow them to grow. The system has been so structured that natural abilities can never be nurtured to fruition. We have the best entertainers presently in the world, like you said. There is nowhere growing up with Nigerian musicians here. Do we have the only musicians? But you forgot to mention that our travel then that could hold crowds in stadia was Fela Nicola Kuti, because his music, his genre of music was a message.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
why
mentioned
he had
him. He was in
concerts in
Berlin.
Berlin, the Philippines, anywhere in the world. He was the only musician because he had an identity. He was not just a musician; he was a social crusader, and that was why. And fast forward to date, our music exports have annexed the music industry even from the global world. And that is one thing. That's what we're exporting. But unfortunately, they're in the minimum. But the foolishness of tribal sentiments and sensationalism makes them to be fighting each other spiritually with Itagba and everything, and social media fights.
Yeah,
That's why you have some deaths here and there. You understand? Within the industry, Nigeria has the highest number, the second highest number of football exports in the world, after Brazil.
Yes.
But most of these players have seen, oh, our country will not give us a semblance of identity. Let's go to Alaba is playing in Austria. We have 4 Nigerians playing the German national team. The English national team is Nigerian national team. We have so many. We have 2 Nigerians playing for the American national team. We have 1 playing for Norway. I can keep naming them. Those are all Nigerians who would have loved to don the green white shirt of Nigeria if things were working. We have the highest exports of students in the world today. Nigerians are virtually in all the universities in Europe,
around the world,
and the Americas.
True.
And we keep opening secondary school like universities every day. There are no works, no jobs for these people after school. Of what relevance is that? That is for politics. The schools have been open for political patronage. Nigeria has the highest export of businessmen in the world. Today, go to any country in the world, you have an Igbo man there, you have an Hausa man there. In fact, an Igbo man is a certainty. Hausa man, yes. But you have an Igbo man on every part of this world, even in the North Pole. They do business there.
They do
Go
that.
to the coldest regions in Russia and all the Nigerians are there doing business. They are habitating there. Their own is if humans can thrive there, they will thrive. They will bring commerce.
Yes.
And we have a country that is crying for the relevance of the death and resurrection of Christ. Nigeria has the highest export, I don't want to call it crime and criminality, of artificial intelligence and natural intelligence. The only thing Nigeria cannot make, and I'm sure they can make it, is human beings. Nigerians can create human beings if given the right, just if they are motivated by money. If you tell them the amount you will pay, they will make human beings for you.
They'll make human beings.
A metaphoric explanation of the kind of creativity that is embedded in us. And we are Nigerians.
Yes.
And now we are craving for leadership remodeling. We cannot get leadership remodeling if we don't remodel our mindset. We are a country that is already blessed. God will not come from heaven to teach you how to create that blessing. Listen, this is the scenario. Two people are good cooks. Banga soup, let me give you a trajectory. You want to cook banga soup, you buy the banga, you buy the everything, the ingredients. They give two different people the same ingredients. But the most important,
what a day. I thought we were going to celebrate, but you can't escape this, man. You cannot. And just like I put on the screen, it's not as if Nigerians are lesser than anybody in the world. Nigeria should be the greatest nation.
Deposits of gold, of diamond, of so many other natural resources, the highest number, and we are here. What's the time we're the fifth highest exporters, producers of crude oil in the world, after the likes of Venezuela, USA, Russia, Saudi Arabia, then Nigeria. Not in that order, but those were the five.
Yes.
And where are we today in comparison with those countries? There's a big lacuna because of corruption. Nigeria has the highest number of beauties, female beauties in the world, but most of them have chose the path of ignominy instead of utilizing their natural talents. Creativity has been thrown to the dogs. Now let me come to the context of our discussion for today. We're looking at the relevance of this period of sober reflection. Even in the heavens high, the angels are laughing at us because what we have as natural resources, I'm not sure they even have it up there. We are so blessed a nation to be poor. How can Malaysia came to the Benue River Basin? They came to collect rubber seed, palm fronds and rubber seed. Yes, both of them, I think. When then we were the second highest exporters of palm oil in the whole world, second only to Brazil. And today, where are we in comparison with Malaysia? Nigerians are going there to seek for greener pastures in Malaysia. In 1992, the United Arab Emirates was a desert. But people that were wealthy decided that they were going to make it wealthy. And today, it's a destination for holiday makers, for tourists, majority of whom are Nigerians. Most of them have castles there, they have houses there. Now, let me come to some of these people you put on the blog there. Nigeria has the richest man in Africa. He's the richest man. What has been his corporate social responsibility to the road network that his trailers have destroyed in Nigeria, or the killings that his trailers have caused, the accidents? What has been his safety concern? I'm a safety environmental technocrat. I'm well grounded in it. I understand the relevance of safety in your workplace. What procedure do you use in employing your drivers, your truck drivers? At times when you see the way they drive on this express in Asaba, you'll be happy you are in the UK, because they can drive from where they are even to the studio under the influence of a lot of hard drugs.
Yes.
You are Africa's richest man. I'm proud of that you are a Nigerian. But what has been your impact? Nobody. My anger with our wealthy men is this: majority of them have the mindset of eternal life on earth, that they are not going to die. Of what importance will it be to you when you are dead? Half of your so-called wealth, your children cannot even trace it. Whether to impact the society. Look at Benin to Warri, Benin to Saple, Ologbo, Warri Road, for example. Even your village going towards Ogara, the road is an eyesore. I don't know how far they've gone with the rehabilitation now. And we have wealthy people from that region. Must it
Yes.
always remain the government's responsibility? If the government is failing, and it is our responsibility to hold them accountable. If you can hold them accountable and you're wealthy enough, do what you can.
Do
What are
it.
the Adenugas doing? Is it about flaunting your personal wealth? Jim Ovia today, yes, is in the banking. Most of the banking CEOs you are talking about is our 2 naira they debit, 50 kobo. They just wake up, you do a transaction, they debit your money. If they debit money from 1 million Nigerians, 50 kobo, you don't know how much. So they can decide to flaunt their lifestyle. It was a normal banker. Most of them were normal bankers, but the moment they understood, Nigerians are the most criminally minded people in the world. It depends on why the most intelligent people. It depends on how you want to use your mind. You can
Yes.
use it for criminality and you can use it for goodwill. But majority of them use it for criminality. That we are too intelligent. So when you look at most of these people, how do you think most of these big CEOs you see, how do you think they manage their lives, their affluent lifestyle? It's because banking industry is like a cult. They understand the intricacies. Those ATM maintenance debit. What are they? Is it my card that is with me you are maintaining? That you collect 15 naira for, even if I don't use my ATM. Imagine 50 naira collected from 100 million Nigerians. Don't know how much. If they do kill and divide, you know what we go to most of them. I don't celebrate these people. I celebrate what they are supposed to have done. What they should have done is what I will celebrate, and they are not doing. If you are truly wealthy, let your wealth forget the foundation. Most of the foundation are smoke screen. Do what is impactable, what is visible to the people. You are doing a foundation, fine. I'm not in.
I also have my concern. I also have my concern. My concern borders on the difference between nature and nurture.
Okay.
Yes, nature has given Nigeria the most gifted men on planet Earth. Nature has given in Nigeria's bosom the oil wealth. Nature has given us the best climate that we can farm. You can farm 3-4 times. You know, somebody came near my area, and I was watching the fellow. He planted corn 3 good times in a year before the Hamatan came. So he was able to harvest corn, lorry loads of corn, 3 times in a year. That is what, and he didn't do irrigation. He didn't need to, he didn't even have well with which he was pouring water. He just natural agriculture, and he did it 3 times. A chap from the north visited me not long ago, and he said, all this cassava here, I'm coming. We are going to clear it. You know what? We are going to plant watermelon and cucumber here, because this environment will. That is to say that granite can be planted not just only in Kano, but even in Delta State here. Watermelon and all those. There are no ethnic coloration to agriculture. Anywhere in the country, I once bought watermelon, and as I was licking it with a visitor, some seed fell on the ground, and you know they eventually germinated, spread, and produced real watermelon in the outskirts of Asaba, Delta State. And have this as an enterprise. We don't need to be bringing them in from up country, because anywhere in Nigeria is a food basket. That is nature for you. But Our worry is to what extent has have we been able as a nation to nurture what nature has given unto us?
Huh?
Engineer Mijak was talking about the CEOs and the very wealthy people. Oh, yes, they are. In a sense, they are brand in Africa. But I stand to be. They are safer when they go for their foundation in UK. They are safer when they meet with presidents of the world. They are not safe in their communities.
Exactly.
So in some way, they are prisoners.
Yes, they will just take them. Guys.
Of when will they visit their communities where they grew up,
Yes.
where they played football with barefoot
Yes.
at some point.
Yes.
And as such, that is the missing link.
All right.
We don't need to start mentioning them. Their photographs are out there, but they protocol departments, protocol units of government houses in parts of the world in hours can process their meeting with presidents of the world because of the potentialities of investment that they are bringing. But can they visit their communities for weekend? Can they walk about without security and not be overrun? So something is lacking, because in all their wealth, they are imprisoned. They are not secured. And as such, we should all focus towards how can we build a nation where we all should not live as prisoners. The leadership we have tried to come up with from independence till now, to what extent have they functioned in the line of the global benchmark? What can we do again? How can we rejig the trajectory to ensure that people are held accountable, held responsible for their actions? Because it's human beings, not ghosts, that as we speak have turned Benue and the Plateau into a killing field. And for as long as they are being used for political gains, and these people go on, sometimes under the cover of military cantonments and under ethnic definitions, you attack communities, the Bronx and the big ones, and you have them killed in their hundreds. And for as long as we don't have a judicial system that can identify these killers and make them to stand before the law, then we can't claim to be having a nation where the rule of law is operational. For as long as even our Supreme Court cannot give justice, then we are more like living in a banana republic. And no investor will want to come and invest in a banana republic. For as long as we do not have an economy that is on its own functional. I try to differ with my brother when he talked about the churches. A number of the churches now, beyond the faith and beyond the preaching on Sundays, they have active university campuses where they are training people in all the courses.
But it's not free, it's too expensive.
At what cost?
Attend.
At what cost?
Education cannot be free.
It is too expensive.
If you think education is expensive, go and try ignorance. For it to be qualitative and be impactful, it has to have a cost element. It has to have a cost element.
This discussion is very interesting. When you talk about qualitative, government universities can bring qualitative education. The campuses of most of these churches, like the Covenant University, I will name them, Redeemer University, they are too expensive. It is only the elites that can attend it. If you are truly a church for the poor, because they say Christ died for the poor, if you are truly, and most of your members were part of the people that subjected their finances to building the schools, then there should be something like a rebate or something to make it affordable for the poor. I'm not against what the church, but the church will build factories. We're not talking about Let the people, okay, when they
Thank
finish
you.
university, where will they work?
Thank
So
you.
we're still saying this. Everybody is guilty. The church, everybody is guilty for the problem of this country. You and I talking, you are guilty. The church is guilty. The government, the followers, because the people that are politicians, they were once on
We
this side.
all are guilty, but beyond a collective guilt, how do we get out of this trajectory?
That is the question.
How can we factor ourselves out of this? Because we must not remain here for too long. Long, so long. Long, so long. Many African nations that had their hope on Nigeria are already giving up. And that is why some of them, that's why some of them are on their own. You know, black on black in South Africa. Even in Ghana. It used to be Ghana must go. Today, Nigerians have to leave. Because
Nigeria must go.
Universities,
Must go.
More than 80% of the populations are Nigerians. Our concern should be, how can we improve on our infrastructure? How can we improve on our security? How can we make Nigeria work again so that those who are out there can be back and we all can contribute? You understand? But I do not want to hold anybody accountable. I do not want to blame. I don't believe in blame game. But I'm telling you, all I try to point out to you, my friend and brother engineer, is that the church of today is no longer the church of yesterday. Yes, because they have moved from where they were and trying to see how they can impact on life, from issues of education to issues of factories, to issues of establishing of investment platforms. Yes, they are going into that, you know, because they believe that beyond preparing people for heaven, we should also be concerned about how can they live well.
Maybe the heaven is here.
Incidentally, is the earth where he has placed us. It's our Eden. You understand? And so we have a challenge, because before he left, after his resurrection, he said, "Occupy till I come." So how can we occupy?
But he didn't say destroy, but Nigeria chose to destroy.
No, we must occupy. We must stand our authority. Occupy, dominate.
Other countries
in the economy.
Other countries dominate. That's why Europe is better.
Make it secure.
But we chose to destroy the occupation they gave us.
Let your education work.
Ours is the opposite.
We have to occupy until it's coming. We can't throw him back earlier than his scheduled coming.
No, Jesus Christ,
he wants us to occupy.
I am begging him not to come yet. We have not finished.
We have to occupy. He cannot come because we have not done what we must do the needful. We must do the needful. We have to occupy before he will come. He gave us an occupation mandate.
The responsibility of occupation lies with our leadership.
Yes, it has to start with leadership.
Because the rottenness of a fish starts from the head, not from the tail. So our leaders need to understand. But the problem is that we have leaders that are incognito. I don't know. They have a thin line between reality and facts. They look at leadership as a way for self-aggrandizement.
And you know why that is so? You know why that is so? We have sacrificed merit
on the table
on the altar of mediocrity.
That is it.
We have sacrificed merit. The Christ we are celebrating now, should he come today, Nigerians will ask, is he from Akwa Ibom or is he from the north? He is the savior of mankind.
They will tell you he's Jewish. Like from the east,
we will wear him ethnic coloration. Is he from Rivers? Is it from Benue? Is it from?
They will start fighting over the identity of Jesus Christ. It's an Igbo man.
Until we are able to identify the solution providers.
Yes,
and queue behind them. Yes. We will continue to go round and round.
Unfortunate.
Now, do you know that as we speak, there are people who are rallying under ethnic coloration and coalition and saying Tinubu has to leave the way Jonathan left. He has shown mediocrity. He has shown brazen incompetence. He has shown he's clueless. So he has to leave. And so the Lord says in the next couple of weeks, we'll make our stand known with respect to 2027.
Yes.
You know that There are also people who are saying it's not about Tinubu, it's about South. It happened to Jonathan before. Once beaten, twice shy.
Yes.
Whether Tinubu's government is impacting on the populace or not, we have to queue behind him and ensure that a Southerner is not booted out of government, is not humiliated out of office again. So nobody is thinking along the line of an impactful government. Nobody is thinking along the line of policies that are getting desired results. We are thinking north-south. And for as long as we are thinking along that line, then by the time in 2031, Tinubu may have been done, it's now the turn for the North. The North will bring to us another person who is dead both upstairs and downstairs. And for as long as that keeps happening, we cannot get the desired result. Because leadership, arrow is fine, but there is an arrowhead.
Yes.
And the arrowhead is blunt. The arrow can't get its target.
All right, guys.
In getting it right with leadership. For as long as we are thinking more in the line of billion van kind of politics, for as long as I'm looking for somebody who will bring money to my home before I identify with him politically, then we are not ready to get this nation right. We have all the potentials. We celebrate what nature has given to us. But nature without nurture can lead to frustration.
And that is the frustration we are faced with right now. Because when we talk about Nigeria and the state we are in right now, I mean, we shouldn't be in this condition. That is somebody, his responsibility is carrying it out. There's a road. What are you commissioning a road for? Is that not your responsibility as a government? You are commissioning a borehole. You are commissioning solar power for constituency funds. You are commissioning of what? Do you go to the UK, you go to America, Europe, and see them commissioning roads? That is their responsibility. When we are living inside Shell Estate in Warri, in the morning, once there's somewhere, there's a pool of water, or somewhere that you see something like a portal. In the morning, before when we are gone out to school or wherever, they will come. They like Public and Government Affairs Department, Park West. They will come. They would have invited the engineers. They will come. They will excavate it. Before we come back in the evening,
it's done.
That place you will not see it again. A new quota has been, that it is resurfaced. It's a new dawn. You will never see anything like that in Netherlands. But when they see, they say, "Leave and small. It's this small. This one not go reach contract. That photo is this small. It's this small." But it gets to a level that cars that they will start using that position, that spot to be kidnapping or to be stealing. Look at our major highways, and we have the Federal Emergency Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, doing absolutely nothing. We should stop blaming our leaders alone. We, the citizens, are part of. Somebody is head of FEMA. Somebody is a director in the offices. Somebody is a general manager. Somebody is a permanent secretary. Somebody is a commissioner. But the head, yes, like he said, the arrowhead. They are heads, but there's a arrowhead. And the arrowhead is the problem. But the arrowhead can decide not to be the problem if you can be firm. Yes. Firmness is the kind of country we are. We need firmness. We need strengthened institutions. The judiciary is my biggest problem. If the judiciary can, so many of them in National Assembly should be in jail. So many of them, the executive should be in jail. But you see, there is a coinage. If you want your sins to be forgiven, come to the ruling party. We have spoiled it like that.
Baptism.
And you travel abroad. How many of them carry their mopos when they are going to, even when they are going to African countries? They don't carry their security, their DSS stay back.
Chance.
Their mopos stay back. They go alone. They won't carry their hand luggage from the airport to their hotel. The chauffeur that drives them does not have a security, does not carry a pistol. You drive them from the airport down to their hotel or to wherever they are going to be sleeping. There's no special security arrangement because those societies are. I'm not talking of Europe or America now, even in Africa. Look at Rwanda. In Tutsis in early 1990s, the Tutsis and Hutsis fought because along religious line, over 800 and something thousand of Tutsis were killed, or Hutus, I can't remember. On both sides, there were a lot of losses. Every Everybody expected that Rwanda would capitulate. It was serious ethnic. I have never seen. At times when I watch the film narrative of what happened, saying it will be difficult for this country to heal. But look at Rwanda today. Do you know some members of the
Jesus goes there.
State House of Assembly?
They saw the resurrection of Jesus.
Rwanda is a tourist destination today. They have major earning foreign.
Is that so?
Somebody that a country that fought war is the cleanest country.
Why is that so?
In Africa right now, the most planned.
A leadership emerged that showed the light, and the people found the way. That is the primary responsibility of leadership.
Yes.
Show the light, and the people will find its way. One is not too young to remember that we had, though it was a military dispensation, but a military dispensation of Idi Agbo and Buhari came into power and identified that indiscipline was one of our major problems, and came up with what they call war against indiscipline, and asked people to start queuing. And before you knew it, you saw that people were queuing. A leadership had shown the light, and people found the way. They foresaw the scourge of what is happening now, a youth that is being erased by drug addiction and consumption. And they came up, though it was retroactive, and by the time they executed 3 persons over drug trafficking.
Bartholomew, there were 3 of them that were executed.
And by the time that was done, you saw that other persons advised themselves that this leadership means a leadership must be known for something.
Yes.
A leadership must have an ideology. Babangida was once criticized for his policies that were not working out right, and he said it is better to implement, to do wrong policies than not to have any policy at all. But a government that is there neutral, neither doing good nor evil, has the potentialities of being hijacked even by people who wants to oppose your government. What is happening now is that people want to trump up the card of insecurity, because there is a political coloration to this insecurity that is festering in Plateau, Benue, and other places.
In the Delta State, in Asaba, everywhere, not just Plateau, Benue, even in Delta.
All right, guys, you know what I want us to do? Yes,
before you get to Ibanke, from Ewoimi, before you get to Oromi, that axis is toxic, and the roads are so bad that you must slow down because of the potholes and the stones that have been put on the road. Now, insecurity is a product of the politicians. They created this monster for their selfish interest. And the funny thing, it is going to swallow everybody. But then, they're going to be the greatest victims, because they can't,
they are victims already. We are victims. Now, everywhere is war.
They cannot go there. Because there are people that are angry. We are angry in the city.
Yes,
you have money. At the moment you become a politician, you have hotels all over. You have in Abuja, you have in Lagos, you have in Asaba. Then the next you have in Dubai. You buy a house in America. Is that the problem? Is that what brought you to become a politician? What brought you to become a leader? Then our myopic followers with the sharing of 5,000, 10,000. Hey, 12 for the leader. Oh, hey. I mean, at times I look at them, I weep. Hey, leader, somebody that you know is killing you, somebody that has turned you into a financial handicap. Election, they have given you people rapper, shared rapper. They'll go to Onitsha there, rapper of 115 that they have customized. They bring it and share. Then give you people 5,000 for transport, 6,500. You'll be jumping up. That this is the leader. Nine we want. What a fantasy.
Vajak, I heard you, sir.
Like
I heard you.
Nigeria. Now we're talking of development. Let's be frank and studious. Development cannot come to a country that has power problem. How do I run my factory? Without power, there can't be development. Without power, there can't be sustainable development. Without power, you cannot attract investors. Without power, marriages they crumble. You will shock you that without power, marriages they crumble.
Of course.
Marriages crumble. I've known because of power mat issue. Without power, majority of institutions cannot run. Our tertiary institutions that are supposed to be the epicenter of research and innovation still are waiting for NEPA to give them light. Then what are your research institutes, your engineering departments for? That you can generate power from turbines. Those of you that are close to water, that you can't generate power from wind with windmills. What are we doing all this for? Even so that they cannot.
Engineer Masha. Yes.
And we are crying let's people, we have failed ourselves.
We have about 80 minutes already gone.
Fact allocation. Let the MP come to the state we share. If you not,
yes. I know.
It's working.
Wait,
engineer. The roundabout in Wait, that's the day when I say, well, they've just improved on their apartments for the miscreants. They're giving them a sense of belonging. They will now know how to share their different apartments. People defecate on that flyover. People mess the place up. People sleep there. It's a hostel reservation for people. And the government is saying, and we have an Asaba Capital Territory Development Association, agency doing nothing, but they have been funded. Asaba is the filthiest state capital I have been. I will say it. I'm fearless. I will say it because it's the fact.
No, we'll do a show on that.
The dirtiest state capital I've been to.
We'll do a show on that.
Go to Uyo, go to Calabar, go to Enugu. Even Onitsha is beginning to be finer than Asaba. Onitsha is not a state capital. And we pride ourselves in the knowledge of Asaba is this. But let's not deceive ourselves. There's so much deception.
Engineer, I have never had issues with infrastructure development. We need to upgrade our infrastructure. But there is a danger when the infrastructure angle is being prioritized over human capital development. What has happened, the coca scenario? Yes, I lived in Asaba without the coca bridge.
Yes, now.
And I knew lives were being lost there because people were finding it difficult to cross. Those days, if we were driving, we would need to go to where we call road safety before we would now turn and all that. So, whichever government that came and built that facility should be commended. Yes. And it has become a celebrated public toilet. You know, underneath public toilet, up there public toilet. And you begin to ask yourself, what is this? What kind of nuisance is this? Because we have not taken care of the homeless people. There are so many social issues in the society that we have tried to sweep under the carpet in the name of infrastructure development. We have had situations where people spend so much money trying to do the inauguration of what do you call it? Borehole, community borehole. There was even one in a community that it failed them that morning because they didn't strike the right aquifer. It failed them, and so much had been put into the women that will dance and the tape that will be cut and all that, and they couldn't tell protocol that the governor shouldn't come. They went and brought a tanker and put water in the overhead tank, and when it was time to do the commissioning, he turned the tap and brought out water and drank. But by and large, by the time the water that was in the overhead tank finished a couple of days after. The community realized that they had just been scammed because the borehole was not active, was not functional. They had not struck water.
All right.
But again, the contractor needed a contractor mentality, needed to maximize his own profit. Service orientation was not there. And so that community lost an opportunity of having water. And water is life.
Ubaka, we still have some more things to do on the show today, please. But listen, I couldn't stop you guys because I can understand it's pouring in. It's pouring in. It's pouring in.
If we had been developing and upgrading our infrastructure in power sector, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yes. So
engineer had talked about how marriages have crumbled because of power.
I don't know whether you guys can hear me in the studio.
But
can you guys hear me?
Okay, I think we are hearing you.
All right, good.
We are hearing you.
Yes, I know. We're about almost getting to the end of the show, and I know it's really interesting the way you guys point it out. And I wish we can just a little bit stay focused and do the newspaper review, even if it is one newspaper, so that at least we will fulfill the show this morning. So, Chibubaka, if you get ready for the newspaper review, that would be amazing. We'll just take a look at some of the papers as we move along. But what we really need to be talking about, or what we talked about today, or my interest was, one, the potential, which Ubaka summarized in difference between nature and nurture. You know, today, the same Nigerian people, they say we have 64.4, which is 65, okay, we can say 65% of Nigerian Americans have a bachelor degree, compared to the average American, only 36.2 have degrees. And Nigeria have the highest number of PhD holders in the United States. And as I was just taking a look at this, all I do is just smile, you know, and these are Nigerians in the US. You know, and we've raised the bar. The question is, where is the problem? Where we're getting it wrong? So the Ubaka, thank you for this language you use. And this is the language, this is the summary of it all. There is the nature has blessed us. We're not talking of natural resources alone, because if you begin to name natural resources in Nigeria, you'll be angry. And now we have human resources. I wanted us to look at human resources today. That was what I was intentionally doing. And guess what? Jesus Christ ain't coming back. If Jesus Christ come back today, we will kill him again. For those of you celebrating that today is Easter, he has risen. If he come again, we will still kill him again. With this mind we have now, if Jesus come again, we don't say that Jesus did this one. Una no fear, una kill God. Again, una no fear kill. That is the nature of man. Let's not even go into that, because we're really maybe the devil we are looking for, the devil is here, and sometimes they insult us by telling us heaven. Where is it? Up. In the beginning, God created the heavens. It was plural, and the earth. Earth was one. The heavens. Only God can tell us where heaven is. Let's not go into that. Anyway, please let us, for the purpose of this show, I know the Nigerian papers are bubbling with some of the major highlights. So I just felt we should spend 1 or 2 minutes, because we're almost getting to the end of the show. But it's good to take a look at some of the headlines. All right. But before I do that, Ubaka did made a very big impact when he talks about it was actually an engineer who asked whether are they impacting lives. Our rich men impact lives. To those, much is given, much is expected. We know it's your money, but that naira belongs to Nigeria, belongs to every one of us. You don't even need it alone. You need it for us. So help us so that we can help you. So together we have a greater Nigeria. And what is so sad is the America we're going to study, does that curriculum even fit into the Nigerian curriculum? The same American people have come to Nigeria and they said that the Alaba International is a market. The apprenticeship business model is the highest incubator of successful businesses, small businesses worldwide. The highest incubator of successful small businesses worldwide. Homegrown. The talent is with us. The nurturing of the talent is only where we are. Let's take a look at the papers. So when we come from the papers, we might have 1 or 2 he needs to summarize the issue. But let's look at the papers. Baka, where are we? Where do we start from? We start with the Punch.
Yes, we could take off. We could take off with the Punch. The Punch this morning has interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion from loans. Interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion for loan.
Is that a good news?
A boom.
Is that a good news
story for the banks? But it's also of an economy where people are going more for loans. People are going for loans. Loans can either be for investment or for survival.
This is sad. Because if banks, this gentleman asked us today that if they collect only small money from even the ATM, you know how much they get? You get in 14 trillion from Nigerians. At what rate? The Nigerian banks give you loan at a suicidal rate. Take this money and go and die. That's what it means. 33% or 20%.
So to the banks, it's a success story, but to the economy, it's not a good story.
No, it's a sad one. It's a sad story. I don't know what they say. Interest boom. Interest boom for who? And that's why the rich will keep getting rich, the poor getting poorer, insecurity all over the land. Are you free, Mr. Banker?
Exactly.
Can you go to your village like Bashak asked? Can they get to the village? They cannot. And maybe these rich men we talked about, we were so proud of, they begin to question themselves today too. Let's go, sir. I'll leave it with you.
Top left of the Punch, we also have emergency. PDP governors get Supreme Court hearing date this week. So, as
why is the hearing about?
Zoom, yes.
Emergency. Are they trying to send back? They should be thinking of. They should be going to court to kick Wike out of PDP. What are they asking for?
The Supreme Court should give them a date for hearing this week. So politically, that is a development. Then also in Punch, we have presidency pushes back as Bakari Kuka criticized Tinubu's policies. The Easter gave a number of people platform to evaluate and try to create a nexus between the hope that the Easter brought to mankind and the renewed hope.
The renewed hope of Tinubu. Yeah, the hope of Tinubu.
Yes, and the likes of Bakari Kuka took Tinubu to the cleaners. That he represents motor park politics that cannot take Nigeria out of the woods, and that the time has come for Nigerians to kick against such. Otherwise, the problems of the nation will get compounded. From Punch to Vanguard. Vanguard has the screaming headline there: insecurity. Danjuma, Atiku, Kuka, Bakari, others rage over the insecurity in the nation, all across the nation, but especially now, Plateau and Benue have become the epicenter of insecurity. And so Vanguard did a meal out of this and served it on the front page. Danjuma, Atiku, Kuka, Bakari, others rage because the primary responsibility of a truly responsible government should be to secure the lives and property of its citizens. But it does appear from the assessment of these men that the Tinubu administration has shown cluelessness in this respect. And that is why that is coming up there.
Chief, is this not for some time I listen and I'm a little bit surprised that people can now be moved from their home, Nigerians, They have insecurity moved them from their own father's land, their ancestral home. And Nigerian government is pretending as if they don't know, or they are not doing nothing about it. Why do we have a government? Who are these people that are able to have the power to go to your village and move your people? Nigerians, do we really need Tinubu alone to solve this problem? Are these people, do we have communities anymore? Are we all dead? Some questions, I'm always surprised when I think about this. I'm just imagining I grew up in my village in those days. Who born you to come and displace us? Where are you coming from? We would give you the treatment you need. Yeah, go on. How is this possible?
There's a question I want to ask.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I want to ask a question. It is only possible when there's a collusion with leadership. Because now, are you telling me these people, when they come to this village, we're not talking of the border towns of Lake Chad in the northeast. We're talking of Plateau, Benue. Now, this is the center of Nigeria as a country. And we have police, air wing, air units. They have helicopters. These people, they don't kidnap or come and kill and vanish. The anointing is that they drive Okada. Most of these kidnappers or bandits, rather, have bikes. We see them on social media. They have bikes. That means they come and buy fuel, or there are people that are supplying them fuel. They feed where they are.
Exactly.
They feed where they are.
Where do they get the food from? How could they not have inside?
Where do they? Are you mean our Air Force? We don't have an Air Force for the name of having an Air Force. We should have been like a country that doesn't have a military and that is more peaceful.
Yes, can't people see them from above? At the Nigerian military, do we have intelligence?
If they are scared of an air ambush, don't we have drones? Are there no drones that can be used from like here, and you can cover the whole of Onitsha with drones? Air wing, air police, Air Force should be able to hover around that region. These people are staying in the forest, and at night we have night vision helicopters. Because there's no way these people will be in the bush at night that there will not be any form of illumination. They might need light to cook. They might need light to see.
Exactly.
So if there's a night vision helicopter, there are soundproof helicopters that you can kill the sound in the air and project it, and you get these people water. Who is fooling who?
What you are talking can only work when the military is professional. When the military is driven by professional goals and benchmarks and not pandering towards sectional or ethnic sentiments. But when you have a Nigerian army that the leadership is sentimental with a section of the country, then you see the army will want to go and make a mark, but the military will give a different signal. Because so until we're able to have a professional army, and don't also forget that it's not everything you see in the budget that is meant for them to procure some of those their fighting equipment that actually gets to them. You know, we also have a situation where from our own storehouse, we are giving out weapons. Our people are giving out weapons even to these bandits. It is that dangerous.
But who is free? Chief Obaka, who is free here? Who is free? I'm wondering, is any politician that is free? Can they work freely?
Nobody is free. And to worsen the entire thing, I stand to be corrected. Nigeria is one nation with the most porous border definition in the world. In the west, in the north, even in Calabar, you know, some of our local governments have been ceded out to Cameroon. You know, in the north, the same thing. A house may have its frontage in Nigeria and the back is in Chad or Niger. You know, so there is no border delineation. There is no border definition. And so some of these guys, they strike here and you are looking for them here, they are over that way. And so there is the need for regional regional plan,
but where they are,
security
Ubaka, but that's where the insecurity. That's not where the insecurity is, because people in Benue, they don't have actually that border challenges. I mean, I can see that in Borno area, but these are middle belts. This is the middle of the country. How? Where is this insecurity coming from? Who is? Look at Plateau State. It's not at the border town. Where? How can the people be coming from? Where they come from Niger and they finish and they go back to Niger the same day? Come on, man. In Nigerian military, you people should be ashamed, because this cannot happen in your face. There's no excuse for this. No excuse. And the funniest thing is, I'm so happy. You guys can think it's easy. Nobody is free, because the politicians, they get your pikin. Yeah, say when they tell you they 10 pastor, you know here. But if they get you or get your pikin, you go pay where? No. You see, even we do will always be in our face. We can't escape it. There's not the way God created this world. You cannot escape it. It will come to you. You will see it, and God will let you see it while you're still alive. How can we be so mean to one another? Killings in Nigeria. Sometimes I think it's like joke. Now that I'm here, or you guys are in Delta, you don't know the impact. Can you imagine saying you come to your village and your people have been killed? I don't know how we even cope. But before you come back, they kill your wife, your children. How will you cope? Your poor parents who left at home. How can you cope? How are you going to deal with that? And there's a government sitting down and saying they are government. This is no joke, man. We've just
made addition to the lexicon of democracy in the world: remote presidency.
Yes,
Bayo
okay.
Ononuga told us that remotely, Tinubu is very much.
He's working. Yes.
He's working remotely.
That's what technology give to us now. Give presidents. There's remote working everywhere these days. Post COVID. After COVID, come remote.
Yes, and he's given orders as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, because it's not just the president. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's given orders to the military chiefs that they should battle these forces of evil to a standstill and restore hope and restore security. That is a remote president. You know, when a commander-in-chief would have been seen in the army uniform of any of the arms of the district and get in there, and fraternize with the people, discuss with the people. And that is leading from the front, not from the rear. Not to talk of leading remotely. That cannot make impact, even in a time like this. You know,
it's not in this one.
So, Guardian also has about the same thing, because it appears to be the major news in the day. Despair in Benue. Plateau has killing hit over 284 in 3 months. Despair in Benue. Plateau has killings hit over 284 in 3 months. And the Guardian has decided to do something there with a map of Nigeria, and the spots that are in red are the spots that the killings are on. Somewhere here you have Borno taken over by then Plateau and Benue. So you have map of Nigeria, and there are spots that are bloodied by killings that the government of the day has not been able to arrest. Engineer, what does that say about where we are?
That talks about the complicity of government in the what is happening in this country, because the later Pasha did say that when a security situation goes more than 24 hours, the government is part of it, is aware. And this government cannot tell me that when these bandits and their shenanigans move from the northwest to Kaduna, to Abuja, now to Benue, Plateau, how can villages be getting escorted? It's not this. I want people to understand this thing. This is not related to religion, whether Islam or Christianity. They are killing Muslims, they are killing Christians. But in Benue Plateau now is more of Christians fight because of their vulnerability and the hate sentiment. But most importantly, every life matters. Whether Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jew, Hebrew, atheist, every life matters. A life you cannot create, you mustn't take. And when a government fails in its responsibility to protect it's the responsibility of government to protect the lives and property of its citizens, housing, healthcare, all that. Our government has failed in all. Most importantly, in protecting uh, the life and livelihood of our citizens. Security is nothing to write home about, because I cannot imagine that as it is right now, like Ubaka referenced earlier, that Nigeria, we are so blessed that we don't have Hurricane Katrina, we don't have Hurricane Amaka, we don't have Hurricane Evelyn, we don't have Hurricane Marvelous in Nigeria yet. We don't have those kind of natural disasters. What we have is rainy season and
Without angry women,
dry season.
from the sea.
Yes, because all the hurricanes people have in America and Europe are females. So that's
Yes.
why I had to internalize it so that people
That is
understand.
our own. I
And
like
we
that.
don't have
No Hurricane Mary.
yeah, we don't have earthquakes here. Yes, Hurricane Marvelous, Hurricane Evelyn,
Yes.
Hurricane
Not
Kachi.
Mary.
We don't have them in Nigeria.
Yes.
They are hot weather, dry. What we complain about here is heat, and most of our bushes are savanna, grassland. So I expected that intelligence report would have been a lot easier to get to these people. These people make calls. They fuel their vehicles. They fuel their Okada, their rides. They feed. They illuminate at night. So they are so available to be.
Thank you very much, people. Like I said, Nigeria is too rich to be poor. That is the language. Omar Agege gave me that language. Omar Agege, when I met him when he was running for governor, the man used that word, and I agree with him. We are too rich to be poor, and that is where we're going to try and draw the curtains for today. I didn't want us to get to this time today, but you can understand that it is not an easy thing to just come into a topic and think you can get away with it. As our connection is always giving us problems, but I can sum it up. Nigerians, we are blessed. God is angry with Nigeria, because if Jesus come again, you will kill him. And what is it that God has not given to us? Today, when I hear the issue of electricity, that we don't have electricity, that is the most painful thing you can ever think of. Do you know the funniest thing, people? That Nigeria have free sun, free. Solar today is the cheapest form of energy which we have with the sun. You can't do that even in Europe because you don't have enough sun. The winter period will be a disaster. But Nigeria have it abundantly 24/7. What are we doing? So the government cannot actually invest or encourage even the universities where you have the talent just to buy the panel and create it. I mean, it must not be the one they're creating in Europe now. You can have it. It's a way of attracting energy. I'm sure there are other devices that should be used instead of what they're using now. Are we part of this world? Do we have universities? Do we have educated people? What are they doing with the talent? God is angry with us. Jesus has died and risen so that you will rise. I agree with that, Pastor. It's okay to come to Jesus poor, but you are not allowed to remain poor with Jesus. Jesus Christ did not create you poor. You made yourself poor. In fact, your people made you poor. God never had intention for people to be poor in Nigeria. So we're not created poor. We're blessed. We're rich. God has given it all. With human beings, look at the kind of human. And you know the funniest thing, Nigerians? I'm going to say only this today. I come today to show the beauty of Nigeria. That's what I've been showing. But it looks as if the few who are opportune don't even understand what we call corporate social responsibility. Today, I was almost angry with some of the things I'm getting from people. Oh, look at the way they're treating me. This is my mind. They think I should give it to them. But it's not really meant for me. It's for us. Anything you have and you think is your own, that is where you make a mistake. And that is where God is angry with you. God has given you more, He's expecting more from you. If you don't use whatever God gives to you for others, you are, in fact, you are worse than an infidel. And I don't want to say more. I just want to close the show in a way that we need to just take on the big word that come from Obaka this morning. You know, and I really want us to see the difference between nature and nurture. Right? We're going to close the show. It's almost there now. We are we're almost 2 hours into the show. We shouldn't be doing that. But let's take a look at the two words, nature and nurture. Naturally, we have human resources in abundance. That's why we have more PhD holders around the world. So Nigeria should not be thinking of being the giant of Africa, be the giant of the world. Where are we? Ghana must go, it's not Nigeria must go. Wake up. And you might not understand, you might not want to agree with me, but you are not free. How many of these rich men now move out without security? Look at their fence, they are all living in prison. Is that the what you call riches? A rich man will be free security wise. You'll be able to that. I don't want to get to that world where I cannot go to a nightclub. That's the more reason why I don't want to come to Nigeria at some point. It's not the money now. Some of us have money to come up. We are afraid to even come because you will not even have peace if you have money. So why are you working? And I'm sure those people there, they don't have peace. And if Okowa left office now, his security is at stake already. Ibori can't come to village anyhow. His children will be at stake. If they get, they go take. Is this what you want? Come on, man. We can make it in Nigeria a beautiful place because it is obvious that we have the natural resources. I'm not talking of oil now. The human resources is more than the thing I don't understand is people, you have graduates in Nigeria. They become a problem for Nigeria. And sometimes they say, oh, Nigeria population. No. They talk about the Amajaran, those who go to school. What about those that even went to school? Has the government been able to use them? I don't understand how people that are educated can be a problem to a government. How can? It's not as if you don't have money to invest. So you have money to set up little factories and get these people to work and make you money. You cannot do it, government. Maybe I'm stupid. Let's just trace a little bit of that. How well are we using our natural resources? Because today, my interest was to tap on the Nigerian human resources. Human resources. And I want to address tomorrow's topic, human resources in Nigeria. Well, it's not going to be so different from what we did here. The Nigerian human resources. How can human resources be a problem? Why is it a problem? Let us prepare for that tomorrow. And anybody that watches this show today, come on this show with your comment tomorrow. We want to know human resources. How could it be a problem? Nigeria is having the enormous human resources. Now, we are no more alone in Nigeria. It got to extent now. The human resources you couldn't use, Mr. Tinubu, is what they are now taking abroad. Your doctors are going abroad. Go to NHS here, it's Nigerians. America will tell you what the impact of Nigeria to their own economy. Around the world, we are there. And yet, we couldn't use the little ones we even have at home. The young people who knows how to use their laptop to do some work, they are not doing Yahoo with it because you have no use for them. If not, a young boy who could use the laptop, this phone to deceive people online, can use it to do great things. If those young people that are singing music today, if they don't have that opportunity, they would have joined Yahoo. So somebody have to direct that energy that is in them in the right direction. The leadership has failed. The parents have failed. The society has failed. The churches have failed. We have failed. Let us work together and build a nation because God is angry. He has risen. He has suffered for us, but we refuse to rise with him. With Jesus Christ, in fact, somebody that said Jesus Christ was crying because Jesus Christ will look at Nigeria and cry. Because what is he going to celebrate? If you die for these people, if you are the one that died for this kind of people, won't you be angry? You die so that they will see light. You die now, they are still in darkness. Nigeria is still in darkness, no electricity. Do you need a magician to bring electricity to Nigeria? A magician. When there's even university cannot even create solar panel for themselves. Nigerian university, what is it that you cannot study in your engineer? I have an engineer in the platform. What is it that you can study engineering that you cannot make a solar panel? What is in it? The same Nigeria that could make a car cannot create solar panel. Are you kidding me? If Innocent, we alone will go and create a brand of car. The University of Benin couldn't have a car brand, but Innocent could. Something is wrong with us. Where did Innocent got the knowledge and it is to start making assembling cars if it's just to assemble? That Nigerian University cannot assemble. We need to wake up. Now Nigerian University cannot even. So what is it? You bring a solar panel and all the things that are in it. An engineer will break it down and look at the components and we'll begin to make our own. That is not even technology anymore. That's technician work. So we cannot even be technicians. We're not saying create something new. We couldn't be technicians now. No, something is wrong. What kind of project do they do in the university? We have problem, people. Today is a day to tap on our human resources. I'm more interested in the human resources. I look at the rich now, but perhaps and let us look at the deep resources we have in Nigeria. And I'm going to look at the intellectual, the academic society, the resources there. Is it the government that is stopping them? Is the government that stopped the University of Benin from having solar panel? That stopped Unilag from having solar panel? They don't have money for research. I'm sure even if they apply to UNESCO, they will have enough money to do. When I had an office in Lagos at Tapa, I was working. I went to mass communication department at Unilag, and I told them to work with me. If you see the equipment they got from UNESCO, NTA don't have it. What are they doing with it? Please talk to me. What are they doing with it? They have a theater art department. That they have the camera in. They have a good cameras in. Let me say this. What Unilag have, Nollywood don't have it. Nollywood is making movie for sale every day. If you go to mass com department, where I have been then, they have the state-of-the-art equipment from camera filming to you can use to film and down to editing. They have theater art department. See the same university with the right talent. The people that is making film that you call Nollywood, they don't have the training, they don't have the knowledge. People in the theater art in Unilag got. They don't have the equipment they have in mass com department in Unilag. Unilag is doing nothing. But Nollywood is striving. Let us wake up. We can continue to look for the witch that is responsible for our problem. That witch, we need to identify them, and we need to identify them now. I don't know whether Asaba can hear me. I wanted to hear the last word from you because it's almost 2 hours into this program, and I want to call it.
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear here.
Thank you.
There's this General Danjuma. He has asked Nigeria.
All right, we're going to try and cut the show, get to the end of the show. I had to close it at some point, but I'm sure my people have a lot of good things to say to you. But I think tomorrow's show will be about the Nigerian human resources, because my anger is you cannot. I'm not going to talk about natural resources. Forget natural resources. Leave natural resources. Let's talk about the human resources. Let's talk about the institutions we have created with our human resources. Let's look at our universities, let's look at the polytechnic, look at the secondary school, and look at the amount of potential that are in there. How come that we are not productive? That this is not about government. It's about institutions doing what they need to do. Government will be government. Politicians will already be politicians. Where is the civil service? The Nigerian civil servants are, what are they doing? Because a permanent secretary will leave. I said to the king, a king, you will witness many, many governors. So a governor has the right to misbehave. A king does not have the right to misbehave. And the same thing goes to the civil servant. Tinubu will stay only 8 years and leave. You remain a permanent secretary post Tinubu. So Tinubu can do whatever he do. He's going to be a politician. His time is short. Yours is permanent until you leave. Please, let us wake up. The Nigerian human resources that we're going to look at tomorrow, going to look at the ministries, how productive you guys can be, look at the university, how productive we can be, and even the teachers, and then the ordinary Nigerians. We are too big. We are too blessed to be poor. I don't know whether I can see Asaba, because sometimes they keep coming and going, but it's 2 hours into the show. Asaba, I'll let you close it. All right? I know you guys can hear me.
Well, thank you so very much. In the spirit of the season, our belief from the Asaba studio really is that haven't gone through the pains, haven't gone through the challenges, haven't gone to the cross for us. Nigeria should wake up to the reality of the time. The reality of the time is that he has risen. The reality of the time is that he didn't end up defeated. He didn't end up in the grave. He didn't end up on the cross. The reality of the time is that the risen Christ rose for all of us. And so there is no point taking him back to the cross over and over again. And we should stop spilling blood all across the nation and let Nigeria walk, so that Christ will also have this feeling that his sacrifice for this nation, inclusive, couldn't have been in vain. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter from Pastor Reverend Tubaka. I will differ on this because Christ did not create the problem for us. Christ did not, those 9 talents that 9 of them did not come back, only 1 came back or so. And rather,
the lepers that
were healed.
Yeah, one returned.
Thank you.
Where are the 9?
Were giving seeds to sow.
Yeah.
1 went to keep. If you keep your investment, you think it will grow. Christ will not have. They have given us investments.
We refuse to
nurture it.
Oh yeah.
Then we allowed it to remain as nature.
Oh yeah.
We refuse to nurture it.
Yes.
And we are not craving for his death to reflect. Christ, we should not be deceived. He died for a purpose. It's for a redemption of our personal lives. To transform this nation is a collective responsibility. People must go to jail. People must do time for the crimes they have committed.
Yeah.
Whether you are a big man or a poor man, if you have committed an economic crime, go and serve your time.
Yeah.
Not the kind of Bobrovsky kind of service, so that we think we have sentenced you, but you are in a palatial building resting. Correctional facilities must be made right. Nigeria is not working because we don't want it to work. Not because Jesus Christ do this one and we do ourselves. We must be held accountable for the crimes that we are causing this nation. But however, that was in a lighter mood. More realistically, we must face the truth. To heal this land, it's a collective responsibility. We must hold ourselves accountable, and we must do what is right always. People if they give you contracts, don't change don't use 10 bags of cement for where you're supposed to use 20 bags. One rainy season will not see that. It will wash away. Let us do things right. The contractor, the clerk in the office, the cleaner, the CEO, the market woman, those of you driving and drinking pure water and throwing out of your cars is part of the problem. Our drainages are filled with silts. We should change our mindset. When you go to a country, go to even South Africa, Rwanda, they don't force you to be organized. This one, I see our policemen on the road trying to enforce discipline. Discipline is a natural trajectory of a society that is working. You will not be forced. You will not see policemen before you start putting your seatbelt or traffic police. These are things that work naturally in an environment where everything is working. Let's make Nigeria work again. Thank you.
So let's not forget the occupation mandate. Occupy till I come.
Yes.
So let's occupy in all the spheres of life while awaiting his second coming. Thank you so very much from Delta.
Thank you.
Delay your second coming.
Jesus Christ, if he come again, we will kill him again. So I don't think he will come this time.
Only if we go back to Nigeria is
yes,
correct.
but if we delay him, he must delay his second coming. Jesus, please delay your second coming because we're not ready. If you want to come, you can visit the rest. We are waiting. Give us time. We want to be prepared. But we'll be welcoming you, Jesus, at some point. Listen, something great about us. Jesus will love you because we have the biggest church. Like, it's going to be negative, but we have the highest number of churches in the world. In Nigeria, we have the highest number. So Jesus, you cannot be unhappy with us. So help us now, so that you're coming back will be actually to be coming back to Nigeria.
Now we go help ourselves.
Jesus Christ will be coming to Nigeria this second coming. So we should be. I think we should celebrate that. We have the highest number of churches, so we should welcome him back. So let us all welcome Jesus back. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, the topic remains this: nature and nurture, the Nigerian human resources. Let's focus on that. Let's work on that. Let's make a strong presentation on that, so that Nigerians will. I wanted us to leave the show today and say, proud, yes, I'm a Nigerian. You know what? If we have all this, then you know when you tell a child all the things he has, then the child begins to say, yes, so if I have all this, I can be this. That's exactly what I wanted to do today. The chance didn't let me. But let us go tomorrow and look at the potential of the Nigerian state. I started with only a small university. Imagine taking at the global scale. One Nigeria, every Nigerian today is only going to deliver a lecture to collect money. That is all they think about. It's not about work. Oh, they just go there to do something and they collect big money. It has become a culture. It's not in our DNA. We need to purge it out if we want to see Jesus' second coming. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow when we take a look at the human resources. Not the bad resources, the human resources. Right? It's not a bad thing. And like I said, I challenge Jesus for the first time. We have the highest number of churches, so you must look at us. I'm sure Jesus is looking at us and be happy that, yes, these people want to be good. Maybe they don't know what to do. If they have the chance, we will just fly. That's my hope. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you.
Let's go.
Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria. It's part SRTV. Innovative content.